hello again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of Realities May Vary, the podcast where anything could happen. Usually does. Cody Gough is here. He seemed, I'm going to say it right up front, you seem a little withdrawn tonight. Am I off base?
I'm tired.
Yeah? Working hard or hardly working?
I'm working late.
Really? What's going on? Have you taken over the whole company? Have you ousted everyone? Is this a hostile takeover? And so now you are. I've been watching that Uber show, so I know what goes into taking over a business.
What Uber show?
What's it called?
Uber Eats?
All pumped up or something. It's the fictionalized story of Uber on Showtime. Super Pumped. That's what it's called. Super Pumped. The story of Uber. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays the guy who founded Uber. And it makes you kind of hate Uber.
You say Levitt, not Leave It?
I say Levitt.
Okay.
I say Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
What does pumping have to do with?
Because that's his thing. He's always about being, pumped up. Everybody is super pumped. I'm super pumped to be here. We're super pumped to be doing this. Everything's super pumped. He's super pumped.
All right.
Yeah. So are you taking over the business, or they're just making you work hard? Hi, Linda.
I'm just, you know how I am. I'm my own worst enemy, Brian.
I do know that about you. I know about you.
Yeah. There's a thing that
worries me, Cody. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, something comes up and you're like, I'm going to do this. And then midnight rolls around and you're like, I'm still going to do this.
Wow.
And, I'm doing work after we are done recording.
Are you really?
Yeah. That's why I'm not drinking. That's
why you are youthful. Like, I used to be able to do that. And now it gets to a certain time of night and I'm out. I'm done. Since I'm not on deadline, now I am on deadline for something, so I will be working crazy throughout the weekend before I leave for New Orleans on Monday. And I'm finding, do you work well under pressure? Mike is still at the office, working for some douche canoes over there. Slaving away, working for the man.
Yeah.
Got his boot on your neck.
I don't have the energy for this. I was dead today. I got a 4:30 p.m. meeting with one of my direct reports. And at the end, I was just like, I am so sorry. I am just dead right now.
Oh, no.
And then she was like, go get some sleep. But I don't remember what you asked me. But I'm not young, and I can't do this. So
do you want to just call it off?
No, we're good. We're good. No, I'm chill.
I don't want you to be.
I wanted to hang out and chat. It won't take long, and you need a break. That's the other thing. Is like,
yes,
right. Part of the reason I was up till 2 a.m. is not because I was working straight through, because like 6:30, I don't know, 6 something rolled around, and it's like it is now time to hang out with my adorable son.
Yes,
awesome.
Your son is adorable.
Mm-hmm. And my awesome wife. So like I did that and I had dinner like a civilized adult.
Really?
And then we chit-chatted a little bit and then I went back to work. But you gotta you gotta step away sometimes just to like refresh your brain. So
are you finding that working at home is better for this kind of thing or worse? Now, if you were working in an office and you had to put in all these hours, of course, your time with your lovely son and your wonderful wife would be non-existent. So is this good that you can wander downstairs and take a little break?
I don't take, well, you mean like at the end of, I don't know. When's the last time I haven't regularly gone into an office that expected me and wanted me to be there in like 8 years.
Oh my God. That is very nice.
Is that
You're
right?
a lucky man. That could be right.
No, 5 years. 5 years. I left the consulting job in 2017 because I remember I left the job the year I got married.
Okay.
Which is weird. But yeah, it's been like 5 years before. I'm trying to think, like, because that's what you hear a lot, right? It's like now that you hear a lot like the boundary is down now, which is kind of good.
Right.
That you just sit at home, but then also like it's easy to creep into like later in the day.
Yes, look, because you figure because your job is upstairs, you can just but you're mere feet from your bedroom. So should you be working nonstop at home?
Yeah.
Now, Debbie's done some big projects in the last couple of years from working at home. And she said, if she has to do them, she'd rather be doing them here because she can have the TV on. She can walk into the kitchen. She can walk outside for a couple minutes. But I don't know.
I would say, yeah, there's probably more like creeping into my personal time going on, but the setting is worth it, right? Like I've got basically my whole wall is windows.
Yeah.
So I've got a ton of natural light. I'm in meetings all day now. My new job is all meetings.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like that?
I was booked from 11:30 to 5 straight.
Good Lord.
Straight, no break at all. And it was ones and like 3 to 4 person meetings. We're not talking like I'm in like a lecture hall. These are like conversations I'm having.
Yeah.
So I love it. I'm a people person, but like
Are you super pumped?
I'm super pumped, you could say.
Okay.
I'm super pumped. But I have a standing desk converter and I got one of those like gel pads that you stand on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I should have brought over here for the podcast, but I've got cushy carpet, which is fine. But I have this like cushy gel pad, so my feet are fine. And I stand there. So I'm in like I do when we record this. I stand and move around. My CEO called me around noon today and I opened my balcony and I stepped out and I paced around and talked to him while I was, got to be outside. A little cold, like 50s. But I was outside, I'm pacing around, looking around at the trees, hearing the birds sing. Like that's not a thing you can do in an office on the 35th floor somewhere.
No, you have to throw yourself out the window to hear
the
birds. But that's over your screams as you plummet to your death.
Right. Which is like marginally less convenient.
Yes. And more troublesome, bigger cleanup. Hello to everybody who's jumping in. Glad you're here. Oh, Roger doesn't believe you have a balcony. He's like a Vita, Roger. He walks out in his backyard and he talks to the peasants who all live in his neighborhood.
Wait, Roger hasn't been here?
No, you don't invite Roger over.
That seems wrong. Well, last summer was that like, we'll have people over all summer, and then we had like one small get together, and then just didn't have people because COVID.
Well, COVID's over. Cut it out. Cut it out with the COVID.
Okay.
Cut it out with. Listen, I went into. I've been going into places without a mask, feeling ballsy. Just stroll it in. If it says mask required, I put a mask on. I always have one with me.
Oh, wait, that's weird. You really?
What?
Well, if I see a sign on the door that says put your mask on, I throw a rock through the window and then scream and throw myself on the floor and then insist that my freedom is being taken and that we're a socialist country. I thought that was the normal response.
On further review, I like your method better. I'm a sheep, let's be honest. I cower to the man. I let the government tell me what to do. I am not a free thinker. I am just I'm a lemming. I just follow along. Just a slave to the man. I'm gonna try to adopt some of your tactics. They sound better. It sounds more exciting.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work for you though? How does it
Well, let's see. I get a lot of compliments on my Russian accent, which is very weird. Seems strange. Yeah. I don't know. That's about it.
Since you brought up Russia, you want to put odds on whether we're going to be in World War III anytime soon? Think we're going?
No, I don't.
You don't think we're going to war?
I don't think anybody on the planet wants that.
I think there's one guy. I think there's one guy on the planet who wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, but he's not our president anymore.
All right, 2 guys on the planet who would have wanted it.
I mean, it's like, what do you like? Serious? Like, what are you gonna do?
What am I gonna do?
What? Like what? No. What? Like what? What's the world like? What's like? Why would anyone do that?
I don't know.
Who's the winner? Like somebody's like if Russia
it's lose, baby.
Like
if
Russia like nukes a city in Ukraine, like or then what? Then what? Are you gonna nuke them back? And then they're gonna nuke you like back? Like what? This is a zero. It's a no win. Why?
Zero-sum game? Is that what you're saying?
It's stupid. It's people can talk deterrence and power and all the crap they want, but it's like,
well,
if they do a thing that makes.
But here's the deal. He's getting. I don't know. I'm with you on this. I don't see why, but as the bombings and everything get closer and closer to the Polish border, And that's NATO. And everybody said, well, we've all been saber rattling saying we will do whatever to protect our NATO allies. What's going to happen? That's why I'm trying to get stuff done now.
Yeah.
I don't,
If only every foreign policy expert in the world who's been warning that this is definitely going to happen for the last 10 years could have seen this coming. If only they could have seen this coming, Brian.
And if only they wouldn't, have wasted all their time on Facebook arguing about everything else. Last month, they were medical experts. Then they were political experts. Now they're global geopolitical experts. We got to focus, people. Let's get our stuff together. Bring it in a little closer, please. That would be lovely.
Yeah, no, the people on Twitter, there's a remarkable number of people on Twitter that now understand the entire geopolitical history of an entire part of the world, halfway around the world, which is just impressive.
It is halfway around the world.
Yeah.
It's a long ways from here.
Yeah.
Which makes it easy to go, yeah, we should do all this stuff. Oh, well, yeah, it's a long way from here now until we do some of that stuff. And then guess what? It's not going to be that far from here. I saw Red Dawn. I know they're coming. I know I'm going to have to Wolverine it up in the mountains with Patrick Swayze.
I do have to say I'm a little jealous of the Russian people a little bit right now.
Why? Because they're not getting McDonald's?
No, they just banned Facebook and Twitter.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Right? It's like, oh my gosh.
I could deal with that for a while. As we're on Facebook right now.
What a great service to the Russian people that they did that. Like that's a blessing in disguise. I don't even know if it's in disguise. That's just a blessing.
That's a blessing. If I'm a Russian people, I'm getting worried because my entire way of life is being basically choked off. And I'm guessing most of the Russian people were not in favor of this.
I've heard that companies are finding a way to get around this.
Really?
By basically creating like a secondary brand or like a shadow brand and just operating under a different brand.
What? Yeah. McDowell's? Is that what you're saying to me?
Exactly. So it would be something like that, but not quite so obvious to like Western audiences. But they're like literally, I've heard that companies are starting to do that where, and I think McDonald's is one of them actually, but I can't confirm that. But yeah, like even was maybe one of them. And it's just like, just call it like Coca-Cola or something weird, Cookie-Cola or whatever.
Coca-Cola.
And change the
now
branding.
I want a Coca-Cola.
I do too.
It sounds good, doesn't it? I can see a big bird as their mascot, not those polar bears like we have over here.
Can we at least agree to continue syndicating Realities May Vary in Russia on all the platforms where it's still available? Because I think the Russian people need to hear from you and me as spokespeople of the Western world.
I am all for that. We are not supporting the war effort. We are providing a service to the Russian people to let them know, hey, man, this is what you're missing out on, which is going to make them entrench themselves even more and go, we were against this war, but then we saw the options. Let's go.
Yeah.
Get the tanks rolling. I'm in. Let's do it. No. Did you see how, all right. I'm going to sound like a right-wing firebrand for a minute. Can I do that? I can't stop myself.
Yeah, but whatever you were about to say when you said, did you see? I guarantee the answer's no.
This one you might have, because it's so crazy stupid that it might have permeated your bubble.
Huh.
The Hollywood elite are at it again, Cody.
Oh.
I love your feigned shock. Thank you. Amy Schumer is one of the three ladies hosting the Oscars this year.
Okay.
Wanda Sykes, Regina King, and Amy Schumer are the three hosts for the Oscars. Amy Schumer has made news the last couple of days because she wants President Zelensky to be part of the Oscars, either live or in a recorded statement, not taking into account that he is leading a country that is now at war and on the verge of extinction. But he should take time out of his schedule to do something for the Oscars because, he used to be an actor, Cody.
Mhm.
So there's the tie-in.
Hmm.
And I thought to myself, wow, maybe some of the people who say Hollywood is out of touch are onto something. But she's she's infuriated that the producers are not chomping at this great idea. This would be fantastic. No, but shut up. Thoughts from the well-coiffed Cody Gough.
Boy, that's special.
That's a special brand of stupid.
That's like look it up on Twitter actually. But the other day my friends sent me a link to a tweet from somebody.
Okay.
The tweet was from it was some economist. I think you probably will know who it is as soon as I say his name, or you won't. It's fine. I just don't want to like misname.
No, don't misquote him.
It was Peter Schiff.
I've heard that name.
Yeah, he sucks a lot.
Okay.
He's chief economist and global strategist at Europac.com and a terrible human being. His tweet from 6 days ago was, I understand times are hard, but doesn't the president of the Ukraine, which we've talked about, you shouldn't say that, the Ukraine.
Right.
So he already is being an asshole. Yeah. So doesn't the president of Ukraine own a suit?
Yeah.
I don't have much respect for current members of the U.S. Congress either. Okay, fair. I agree. But I still wouldn't address them wearing a T-shirt. I wouldn't want to disrespect the institution or the United States. To which
I saw this tweet. Yes.
Did you see my reply?
No.
My reply was in all caps. You know what's wrong with presidents of war-torn countries these days? No business decorum. And that's how I feel about Amy Schumer. Like, you know what's the trouble with presidents of war-torn countries these days? They're not bowing down to Hollywood, ? To do like a skit while like their countrymen are dying.
That would be fun. Show him in a bunker surrounded by, his citizenry that's fleeing for their lives, and he does a Rob Lowe kind of Snow White musical number.
Mm-hmm.
That would make sense. This is the guy that people are starting to compare to Churchill for his wartime leadership, and he's going to come out and do shadow puppets with Amy Schumer and listen to Wanda Sykes crap.
I don't know. So I have not been following any of it.
I haven't been following much, but those two, that thing just, that hit me like, wow, you are so crazy and so worried about yourself that you would think that this was even possible or even a good idea. That's something you joke about with your, with your pals. You don't go out into the world and, this is a great idea. Look at me, what I'm trying to do. No, you don't do that. No.
Yeah, I've been avoiding it for the most part. I do actually probably my favorite YouTuber, a Final Fantasy 14 streamer who makes videos about Final Fantasy 14, which is the game I play all the time.
I thought you were working all the time.
I am, but I haven't. But I was watching a lot more of her videos before, like this month. Anyway, turns out she's from I don't know, America, somewhere on the East Coast. But
she's from America?
She's from America.
All right.
But she, like 8 years ago, randomly, like 7 or 8 years ago, she moved to Ukraine.
Oh, wow.
So she lived in Ukraine and has been displaced and had to
evacuate.
You're
mispronouncing that. Isn't it supposed to be the Ukraine?
It's not. It's not, unless you're a horrible human. But like she was displaced. So she has on her like YouTube videos, she's like, here's my new temporary setup. I like fled to Poland and then she fled to Portugal because she found some lady that would basically take month by month rent. And she's like, I'm basically paying nothing. It's kind of like a unspoken arrangement, right? That I'm basically just paying like a pittance. But she set up, but it's that sounds silly. It's like, oh, your video game streamer is like, whatever, that's your connection. But like, think of how humanizing that is.
Yes.
Like I've watched hours of this woman's content and they're really funny and I like her and she's just like a cool person. And like I donate to her Patreon. I think I pay like $5 or $10 a month just to like support her content. So like that's a parasocial relationship. Like I'm invested in her And then when
Yeah.
I see the way she's affected, like it really hits. So I have a huge amount of empathy for everybody going through all that stuff over there. So that's kind of as involved I am emotionally. But I'm also getting quite upset at the anti-Russian sentiment. Like, I guess the Russian tea house in Wicker Park or something had to close because like people kept getting death threats or people were going to
Oh
throw bricks through
God.
windows or something like that. And it's like, dude, it's not okay to be like, it's not okay to be super racist against Russians. Like,
No, it's
just because they're
the
white.
the people are not
Right.
the Ukrainian people are are white as well. I don't think that's a thing. I'm saying the Russian people are not the ones who did this.
Mhm.
One guy did this, you know?
And some people say like, well, they support him and blah blah blah, but it's like, look in the mirror, America. Like, if you're sitting here and you're like, basically you should condemn if anybody in this country, if anybody watching this is like, you should condemn an entire country because a huge number of people like are awful. Like, think about how you spent the last 4 years, or the current 4 years, right? Like,
Yeah.
everybody that hated Trump, like, you got to look at our country for those 4 years and be like, oh, half of Americans voted for this guy. In fact, he won. So, like, what does that say about us? And what would happen if the shoe was on the other foot, right? Like, what if
Yeah.
America did some aggression and then people started pulling stuff from us? And then your defense is suddenly, well, it's not all of us, Well, sorry, but he got elected, right?
Right.
So, like, I wouldn't want to be lumped in with people
No,
that
but
do.
you have to unfortunately the only way to other than military is economic sanctions.
Mm.
And that you know,
Yeah, I'm not
that
saying we
does
shouldn't
affect them, but you're not I mean, those aren't targeted at the citizenry. They suffer the effects of that, but that is to choke the government and choke the government's, the economy there. But it's, so they're paying attention. But no, come on, you can't shut down the Russian tea room. It's like I don't even know if those people are Russian that own the Russian tea room. I don't know who goes to the Russian tea room.
Mike in the chat said it's mostly Ukrainian folks at the Russian tea house too, which makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of overlap, right? Like, some people
Probably,
are like,
yeah.
some people are like, oh, the Russians are bombing the Ukrainians. Like, wait, I know Ukrainians, and like my wife knows some people with roots in that area, and she lived in Ukraine for like 3 months, literally. So culturally, like, many of like a huge swath speak Russian. Many like identify about as much as Russian. So there's a cultural like gradient in that country.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah,
very
definitely.
complicated.
And people have been moving back and forth for
Mhm.
years, and
Yeah. So it's anyway. I'm not trying to excuse the war or anything, and I'm not saying the sanctions are incorrect necessarily. But I'm saying is, like, I don't know, wishing ill will on an entire populace based on, even if Putin has like 60%, approval rating, it's like you shouldn't celebrate those other 40% then. That are
well,
like,
are we?
whatever. But
I'm gonna call
me. I always
no, but
do
I'm
this
also
on the
going to call
show.
BS on the 60% approval rating. I'm surprised it's not. Hey, it's 99%, my friends. Everybody love me. Yakov
I saw
Smirnov, what a country.
I saw somebody jump on Reddit and they're like, people should be protesting in the streets, blah blah blah. And it's just like, what, really? Would you?
There are, but that's the beautiful thing. There are people protesting in the streets. That I saw an interview with that journalist. Did you see that? You had to see that, where she walked out with a big sign on live TV behind somebody else. She was a producer for the news. Saw that. I saw an interview with a ballerina who was speaking out, and all those. There's a lot of citizens being arrested for, standing up, and because they're looking at this like, hey, we don't want to go back to the breadline days of Russia. We like having money and things like that, and being able to go to Starbucks, and we embrace some of the Western philosophy. So you might want to back off on this, because we're enjoying ourselves. We're living a 21st century life, and you're trying to take us back to the days of the USSR when we were all standing in line to get beets.
Beets
Delicious.
comment. Also, the Russian tea house is off State Street and the Loop.
Yeah, that sounds
Thanks.
fancier neighborhood.
Very fancy neighborhood. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, the
Yeah.
one weird thing that I'm vaguely aware of is this like weird sexual obsession with Zelensky.
By who? You or your wife?
Is it like people have been tweeting like, look how hot he is, or like, I don't
Oh,
know.
don't you remember though at the beginning of the pandemic they were doing the same for Cuomo till they realized he was an old man with pierced nipples who wore too tight polo shirts and was a pervert?
Yeah.
Yeah,
People need to stop sexualizing political leaders. It's disgusting. It's weird.
Right.
Gross.
Just stick
Unless
to
it's
sexualizing
AOC.
your employees like a good American.
Inappropriate.
It
Can I
is
get in trouble if I laugh?
it
Can I get in trouble?
I think so, Billy Bush.
Oh,
I think you could get in trouble right now. I'm going to skate away and you're going to lose everything. That
Who's
was
Billy Bush?
Stop it. You don't remember the big Billy Bush? Grab him by the he was the one interviewing Trump on the bus when Trump said you can grab him by the kitty cat. And he laughed and he got fired. He lost all kinds of stuff and he just laughed. But yeah, Trump kept going. Trump became president and Billy Bush became a guy who was constantly talking to, radio guys on the air.
Canceled.
We got to cancel everything. I like that now Putin is talking about fake news and being canceled and the woke mob. He's going right from the USA playbook. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Is there any good news?
Talking
about the war. Talking about craziness. I got sworn at in Spanish by a 5th grader today. How's that grab you?
In Spanish, what do you say, puto?
I can't repeat it here. It was a girl. 5th grade girl.
What did it mean? How did you know it was
dumbass?
A swear?
Because I looked it up. Because I was like, I think she's calling me a name. Because the 2 other kids in the room started laughing. And I was like, she didn't just say he's the most handsome and brilliant educator I've ever come across. And I looked it up. Then I happened to tell the principal. I was walking by. I go, hey, what are these kids just swore at me in Spanish? I'll talk to her about it. Okay. Fantastic. Yeah. That's my life. Man, I can't. I want to write a note to all my former teachers and exhume the ones that have passed away and talk to their corpses and apologize just for being a child in school.
Wow.
Because the teachers are, next week is spring break. The teachers in the school are walking around shell-shocked. They look like they've just come out of a subway station in Ukraine. That's how bad they look. I'm not minimizing the war at all.
I know.
But my job is to find
exaggerate
horrible situations.
Joke.
Yes.
Make
that's
funny.
Mike, you can repost that canceled. I'll be canceled too.
Content too.
If Cody's getting canceled, I'm going to get canceled too. I don't want to do this without him.
So you're broke but not woke.
I am right. I'm broke. I don't know if I'm woke. I think I in debt. No, I don't want to be woke because that's a catch-all for all the crap. I just want to be an empathetic human being who can realize injustice when it's happening, can see things for what they are, but is also a rational human being with some common sense. You know what I mean?
What? No. What's the pithy nickname for that? What's the Urban Dictionary term for it?
I don't know.
Is it woke?
Could be woke. Woke sounds good enough.
Okay, you're woke.
Let's put it under woke. I'm woke. Okay. I'm barely awoke like you. Very tired.
Dude, I take all of my notes in all of my meetings with a pen and paper.
Really? Because you can't remember anymore?
I have no memory of anything.
I love picturing managerial Cody now, who's got all these meetings scheduled and is responding to emails and Slacks and putting a do not disturb on when he goes to the bathroom because he doesn't want to get a million messages in the 5 minutes it takes him to go in to the restroom.
Oh, I don't have time to turn on. No, what do you think I'm doing in the restroom? I'm replying to Slacks that I'm catching up on. I was for my work mostly forever. I'm an inbox 0 kind of guy.
Really?
Like, I'll have like 6 to 10 unread emails, but I'll pretty much handle all of them.
I like that.
Yeah, I have 74 unread emails.
Oh no, you haven't
And
even read them?
I've always wondered, like, I've looked at the subject lines. I know which ones I don't need to open, which is most of them. But like right
Okay.
now, but like I've always wondered, like, when people get into like a managerial role, who is sending all these emails? Turns out everybody.
Really?
Yeah, it's a lot. Well, and I don't know. All right, LinkedIn.
Not just the people that work with you, but vendors and everybody else, and
That's the thing.
junk mail and Eddie Bauer.
Someone at LinkedIn's making a buck off of me and my title, because I get, like, you know how you'll randomly get like an email that's like, "I will SEO your website," or "I'll like
Yes.
build your whatever." Dude, it is like on steroids when you hit.
Really?
Yeah, it's all that, and I'm just like, how, what? And like, it is so left field, some of it. It's just like, we make security software for your business's office. I'm like, our business has never had an office. We're fully remote. Who? What?
But if you ever did have an office, we could make it secure for you.
Oh man, it's a lot. Anyway,
is
so
a
what did
lot.
you do with this child
No,
that swore at you?
Nothing. I just, I kind of shut her out. I didn't do anything else with her because she's also really lazy.
Mm.
She doesn't want to do anything. So if you don't want to do anything, and then she was whining today, and this might backfire on me. She's whining, "I'm tired. I don't want to be here. I don't feel good. I don't want to do this work. I don't want to be here." I go, "Then why did you come?" I said, "If you don't want to be here, we love having you here, but stay home." "Well, I can't stay home." I said, "Okay, well, then since you're here, you might as well do something." And I'm thinking, I don't want to be here either. Nobody wants to be here. You kids are driving us all nuts.
And then were you like, "Happy St. Patrick's Day"?
No, that was last week. I wish I was still drunk from St. Patrick's.
Oh, this was yesterday.
This was today.
Oh, this was today.
This was mere hours ago.
Oh, this was mere
It's
hours
still
ago.
fresh.
Oh, it's still fresh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Still fresh.
That's what you're saying.
It's all I'm saying.
It's all you're saying.
Yes. You've got it.
I've got it?
I don't know. I thought you were vaccinated against it.
Huh.
I'll
have to check my records.
Back around.
I'll have to check Walgreens.com, but not until after I pay my parking ticket, which I
Oh,
still
yeah.
haven't.
What happened?
No update.
No update?
No, I haven't had time to
You didn't even contact the city?
No, I've refreshed the page where you file the update from last week. I haven't got a parking ticket. I'm contesting it. I can put on the website, it says correspondence or in person. The one legal article I read from CBS Chicago was like, you should do in person. Well, I'm not driving downtown for that. So
to get another parking ticket.
Right, but there is a virtual option. So I'd like to take that, but it's not in the drop-down menu because that option doesn't appear until the Secretary of State receives my information, whatever that means. So there's a phone number that I was going to call to be like, what does that mean? And will this become an option? But I haven't had time to call them. So what'll probably end up happening is, Brian, 2 to 3 weeks will go by. I won't have had time to do anything. They won't update it. And I'll just get a late charge or something bad will happen.
$1,000.
And I'll just have to deal with it. Or like it'll expire the contest period. Like this won't end well.
No, it's not. Don't you have an assistant or somebody?
No.
Nobody's around that can help you with this?
Maybe my kid. He's 1.5. He could probably deal with city bureaucracy.
Let me ask you this real quick. Sidebar. How much does your son weigh?
Oh, like 40 pounds.
All right. That's what I thought. I had a squabble with my wife today, a small squabble. She said, "Oh, because Walter is living here for the next week."
Oh.
Of course he is. Because Molly doesn't start her new job till Monday, and she's getting paid to do nothing for this last month. So she went to see her friends in Washington, D.C. One is the girl who adopted the mother-in-law's cat. Remember that whole saga after my mother-in-law died and the cat and the whole thing? Well, anyway, the cat's in Washington now. Molly's in Washington.
Wait, what new job?
Oh, I'm not at liberty to say. Except she got a new job. But so Walter's here, And Debbie said, "Oh, I can't carry him up the stairs. He's too heavy." And I said, "But you carried the baby up the stairs last week." "Oh, there's no way that baby weighs more than this dog." And I was like, "Are you kidding me? Walter weighs 25 pounds.
Oh,
I said, "Cody's son is adorable, but he's about 7 feet tall. He weighs more than 25 pounds. I guarantee it." "No way." And that's how she said it. "No way." I was like, "Yeah, way." So now you said he weighs about 40 pounds. Is that correct?
at least 30.
At least 30. He weighs more than Walter. Yeah, I don't think she just wants to carry Walter upstairs.
Yeah.
I think she loved carrying the baby upstairs. Plus,
So-
he wasn't fighting her the whole way up.
Yeah, that's probably. I mean, he knows, especially if he's snuggly, he'll just
Yeah, it
get
was
there
bedtime.
and just, you know.
But his mass is he's taller than Walter. He's burlier than Walter. And
But he holds on to you.
he held on. He does hold on to you, but he's dead weight because he was almost asleep.
Yeah, but you know that he's hanging on. So you're using your entire body to lift him, basically, right?
Oh no, I'm not. Listen, I'm not. I thought it was great that she carried him up, but I also thought it was a fallacy that he weighed less than a 25-pound dog.
But he feels lighter
Maybe
because you used your whole body to lift the baby. You
know
really
why?
barely.
He also feels lighter because he has a soul, and it buoys him. And we all know now. And everyone's like, "Oh, don't you say dogs don't have a soul?" I don't know. I don't know if dogs have souls.
I
In
had
fact,
a.
I don't know if we have souls, but whatever.
What kind of cake do you like?
My favorite cake is, of course, a German chocolate cake. But I had a cake the other night that was fantastic. Almost too sweet, though. It was we went out to dinner for my mom's 85th birthday. And my brother and his partner, she had gone to Sprinkles and got this cake. And it was like a confetti layer cake. And then with this thick white cream frosting between the layers. And then on top, it was thick white cream, but then a million of those little, the little, like, almost like confetti balls, the candy balls. It was very, very tasty. Very tasty. Why? Have you had a good cake lately? Is that why you bring this up?
It's extremely bizarre you said that because one of my very good friends came over Friday. His birthday was Saturday. So I texted him kind of not really half jokingly, but I texted him and my wife, because she was like, "What kind of cake does he like?" And I texted him and immediately within a second, he texted back funfetti.
Really?
And I was going to ask him I was going to ask you if you'd even ever heard of that. If you know
Of
what
course.
Yeah. So you had a funfetti cake.
This was a high-end funfetti cake, but I know the funfetti cake that you get like Betty Crocker or Duncan Hines.
Mhm.
Sure. It's a fine funfetti cake.
That's so funny. Yeah. I'm going to have some after this podcast.
It's more a child's cake, I believe.
Mhm.
But adults can enjoy it. I can enjoy it, but it was childlike. This was, like a layer cake, so it was fancy. I don't know. But yeah, funfetti cake is, nothing wrong with a good funfetti cake.
Yeah.
Because I like a yellow cake anyway. Like as far as cake goes, I like yellow cake with chocolate frosting. Comes in far second after German chocolate, but there's, those are fine cakes.
They're fun cakes.
They're fun cakes. So did you make him one or did your wife make him one?
She made a little bit of both. We have a cupcake tray of tin things.
Yeah.
So some cupcakes, but then the rest kind of made to make a little cake.
Why do I think that your son went crazy over the funfetti cupcakes?
The only
Or did you not let him have one because it's sugar and you're trying to raise a grass-fed free-range baby?
I want to raise a grass-fed free-range protein-only baby. He only eats pork and steak. So
no, I know he eats eggs and sausage too, which are both proteins. So I know, I'm not calling you a liar because I've seen the kid put away the protein.
mhm.
He ate half the dog, which I thought was uncalled for.
Yeah, are you going to bill me for that or?
We'll see.
Okay.
The front half of her's still working, so
Oh, that's fine then.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't give him sugar. Like the one thing the doctor said apparently in the last checkup was just like, yeah, let him eat whatever, but no sugar, like no extra kind of
Wow.
added, like no dietary reason, but just
No,
like
I
don't
feel
give a kid.
bad that I gave him the pixie sticks then when he was here. It's probably bad. Pixie, I let him eat pixie sticks and watch TV. I'm the worst babysitter ever,
I mean,
according to parents, but the best babysitter ever, according to children.
which is all that matters. Well, he's going to be with his grandparents the next 2 weekends, so
Okay.
he'll, I'm sure, get a little bit
Oh,
of
cotton
a
candy.
extra treat.
You'll be eating ice cream and funfetti cakes, cotton candy.
Yeah.
Licorice.
It's because this Saturday I'm going to the opera.
Aren't you a fancy Dan? Didn't you get a subscription? Did you get a subscription to the opera?
My spouse got me like a 3-ticket season
All right.
pass or something, and so this is our third and final from. I think it was my Father's Day gift. If not, it was my birthday. It doesn't matter.
Please tell me for your last one you're wearing a cape and a top hat and spats.
I need to get a top hat and spats.
If you went full old school opera, my soul would be full. If I saw a picture of you with a monocle and a big cape and a walking stick, getting out of an Edsel.
An Edsel.
Yep. I want you to rent an Edsel.
What is an Edsel?
It's an old-fashioned car. It's an old-timey car.
I'm Googling this right now.
Yes.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Why would you not believe it? Why am I going to lie about an Edsel?
I don't know.
How is that where I choose to make my my false statements?
Edsel, I hardly knew her. Edsel is a Turkish crime drama TV series that was initially broadcast by Show TV in 2009. So I guess you were lying.
Wow. What internet are you using? Are you on some sort of Soviet search engine?
Edsel may refer to Edsel Kardania, Swedish psychologist and researcher, Edsel, king of the Huns in the Nibelgunlied.
Edsel was a brand of automobile that was marketed by the Ford Motor Company from the 1958 to the 1960 model years, deriving its name from Edsel Ford, the son of company founder Henry Ford. Edsels were developed in an effort to give Ford a fourth brand to gain additional market share from Chrysler and General Motors.
You had to Google Edsel car, didn't you? How did I misspell it? Oh, Edsel. EDSEL.
What'd you think I said? Eggshell?
I thought you said Etsy. I was just looking at arts
I'm not
and craft.
making baskets.
Yeah, I was just looking at custom light switches. Weird.
No, Edsels.
That was weird. I would eat one of those.
You would eat an Edsel?
Yeah. It's like candy colored filled Edsel. Like chocolate covered Edsel. I'd eat that. It'd be cool. I'd be really hungry.
So what is playing at the opera? What foreign language caterwauling are you going to listen to?
I don't remember. I literally have to look. I'm
Is
excited
it La Traviata? There, I just blew my entire opera load right there.
Tosca.
Tosca?
Tosca.
Your kid ate some of that in the morning too with his protein. Half a piece of Tosca.
I was having with my coffee. It is by Puccini. It's our first Puccini.
Oh,
yeah. So
a mushroom opera, you say?
Yeah. And the following weekend, we're going to a rock concert.
Who are you seeing?
Fozzy.
Oh, that's the wrestler band, right?
Chris Jericho is the lead singer.
Okay. Boy, you are a cultural ping pong ball. Going from the upper crust to the bottom of the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah. In
now,
Aurora.
where are they playing at the same venue? That would be the best.
That would be amazing.
If Fozzy was at the Opera House.
This will be like the third time that within a week we've gone to a live event featuring opera and then pro wrestling.
You guys live the life. I don't know what's going on with you. We don't do anything.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, you go to like Rolling Stones and Kiss and other stuff.
Cool. Yeah. No, but we are. This is. Oh man, So, are you looking forward to it? Do you enjoy the opera, or do you go for your wife?
I love it.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
I have there's no judgment. I'm like, good for you.
Like on it, you would enjoy it. It is exactly like musical theater. It's just in a different language with subtitles. It's pretty much the only difference.
Reading is tough for me. You know
Mm.
that. The opera house seats are very uncomfortable.
Are they?
Yeah, to me they were.
When did you go?
What did I go see? I saw a program there a couple of years ago. A guy I was in Tony and Tina's wedding with was in the chorus for some show. I can't remember what it was.
Showboat?
No, it wasn't Showboat. It wasn't Music Man. It wasn't Kinky Boots.
Old Man River?
Wasn't Old Man River.
River Dance?
No, it wasn't River Dance.
River City Ransom?
No, it wasn't a dramatic reading of The River by Bruce Springsteen.
The River
I say
runs
My
through it?
Fair Lady, but that's not it. It wasn't My Fair Lady. Debbie would know. But anyway, we went.
Was it My Fair Lady?
No, it was just some fair lady that I picked up on the street. I said, that price is fair, my lady. And that was it. Went in an alley, right in a dumpster. Anyway, I was impressed. I was impressed with the building, but I like the other theaters. I think are more beautiful and ornate, and I like them better, like the Nederlander and stuff.
The James M.R.D. Nederlander.
I'm going to still call it the Oriental, if that's okay with you.
It's not.
All right, then I won't do that.
I thought you were
won't.
woke.
No, I've been asleep since this thing started.
Huh.
I'm a somnambulist.
Is it because you're a method actor? You're just trying to get on my level?
Yes,
How-
that's exactly what it is. Just trying to get on your level. No, I don't know. It was fine, and I would imagine. Now we've had opera. We've talked about this for years. My aversion to the opera, and it's an irrational aversion to the opera. I know that. Perhaps if I saw some sort of opera, I would enjoy it. I may have seen an opera. I don't know. I don't pay attention when I go out, because the whole time I'm out, all I want to do is go back home. That's it. Except for next week when I am going, and I've already used this term today, but it came to me the other day that this is really why I have to go get my soul filled. I have to feed my soul. Oh, we saw your big clips holding up your blue tarp.
That's fine.
We're going to New Orleans next Monday, which is why there will be no show here next Wednesday or Tuesday. What night is this? Tuesday.
If it's not Friday, I'm screwed.
Yeah, no. So we're going there. But this is how I spent my Sunday while you were out gallivanting, doing God knows what. We were starting our itinerary and booking things for our big Ireland trip, which is now on. We are ready. We are going in September. The tickets are bought. And we've been going back and forth because I am dumb. And Debbie was like, we got to start making hotel reservations. I'm like, it's 6 months away. What are you, high? Turns out, if money is no object, you never have to make reservations. But if you're trying to travel on, a budget, you have to make reservations ahead of time. Because there were lots of $500, $700,000 rooms still available. I'm not staying in any of those. But we spent this. So Sunday, we had breakfast, and it was like, we were going to go up and look up a couple of things. Next thing I knew, it was 6:30. And we had basically laid out our itinerary, booked our hotels for 90% of the trip, booked 2 tours, and had plotted out all this other stuff. So it's really happening. But here's something fun. Have you been to Ireland? I know you've been some places. All right. Then you know what a cluster it is to try to rent a car in another country.
I've never rented a car in Ireland.
You're very lucky.
Yeah.
For reference purposes, Debbie and I both are flying round trip to Dublin for $1,300. That's both of us. Not 13 each, 13 for both of us. A car in Ireland is going to cost us about $1,000. because you have to buy so much extra insurance over there. The car, one of the cars I looked at, the base rate for the car was $360. The total tab was $1,100. Like, what in God's name are you driving over there? But everything we're reading is like, you have to make sure you have all the insurance because they'll, one, you're probably going to total your car. Two, even if you don't total your car, they're going to say you totaled your car. Three, a sheep might try to drive your car. So there's all this. And then they make, there's coverage for the windows and the tires and anti-theft coverage and collision damage. And, well, you could get our basic coverage, but then you're on the hook for $2,500. Or you could get this coverage, which is leaving you on the hook for about $1,000. Or you could get the super duper coverage, and then you're not on the hook for anything. I'm like, oh, I like the super duper, not on the hook for anything. But then some of these companies, you look and they're putting a hold on your credit card of like $2,500 or $3,000 just as a hold, even after you've paid for all the insurance and paid for the car, they're still putting a block on your credit card for $3,000. It's like, what is going on over there? But there's no other way to do it. I mean, I can't, we have an ironclad itinerary now. I can't be messing around. I got to have a car.
Your spouse's employer doesn't have like a preferred rental.
Hold on,
car.
what?
Well, like when I worked for the consulting firm, I was automatically a Hertz Gold reward member.
Really?
Because I registered with my company card, and like you automatically got it for the duration of as long as that card was active. So at the time, I had left the firm, but it was the year I was getting married. I left the firm before we went to Germany. We went to Germany. We rented a car on the gold thing, took it around for like 10 days or a week or whatever, got back, and there was like a scratch on the hubcap. Nothing terrible, but like it was noticeable. And the guy was like, well, normally that would be like $1,500 or something like that for like a scratch. And he was like, oh, but you're gold, so you owe nothing. And he like seemed very upset by that. And we just walked away.
Whoa. See, that's the horror stories I've been reading about people returning their cars in Ireland and them finding any excuse to not give you your money or to charge you extra money. So it's like all these companies are like, well, you can buy our top of the line insurance and then you're off the hook. And I'm like, okay.
Over there, it's the top of the line insurance.
Top of the line insurance. Because sure, and you'll be driving around the countryside and run into a ram, either an animal or a truck.
Right.
So the other thing is, if you want an automatic, you got to pay more, an automatic transmission.
Oh, transmission.
Now, I know how to drive a stick, but I know how to drive a stick with my right hand on the thing. Plus, when I drove a stick, I had a big enough car for me. Well, over there, you got to rent a smaller car because all the roads are goat paths. And if you were to rent a bigger car, I should just move over there because there's I can't afford to come back. But I'm like, I can't, if I'm in a compact car, it's going to be hard enough to drive it, let alone try to move my left leg and left arm and learn everything backwards. Mm-hmm. So I'll pay the extra for the automatic and I'll pay for the insurance, but oh my God, it's insane. I'll check with Debbie though and see if her firm has something like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah. And highly recommend getting the built-in GPS.
See, everything I read says no.
What?
You get a SIM card for your phone and they say that Waze or Google Maps works so much better.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So you buy a SIM card when you get there with unlimited data. It's like $20.
Yeah.
And then you're Wazing it all over.
Plus,
I think the voice on Waze over there is the Lucky Charms leprechaun. Woo! Frosted Lucky Charms, make a left, don't drive into the bay.
Weirdly, I don't think that's the voice over there.
All right. I might be wrong. I don't know.
I could be.
Sometimes I just spout off.
Yeah, no, look, I'm sure I could have done the GPS thing way cheaper because it's like $15 a day if you pay
Yeah.
for it. But it was a godsend in Germany. Like we did
Sure.
not know where we were going or what we were doing. It was great. So if
Well,
you can
Germany's
afford
much bigger too. You got a lot of places to get. You got East Germany, West Germany,
South Germany,
South Germany, the
There's a
Black Forest,
fourth one,
Munich.
Northeast Germany. That's right.
Northeast Germany is the best part of Germany. That's where they make all the beer. Did you go to Munich?
No.
You didn't go to Rocktoberfest?
No. Did we go to Munich? No.
No.
We were near-ish Munich.
Did you even go to Germany?
Well, we went all the way to the south to Neuschwanstein, which is
Hoots?
closer to Munich. We didn't go to Berlin. I know that. We didn't go to Munich. What's the other big city there?
Dusseldorf.
I did a homestay in Dusseldorf for a week.
Did you really?
Yeah, when I was in middle school.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
You just went and lived with a mustard growing family?
This is like older retired lady that just like doing homestays, and she showed us around Germany, and we played some German games and went to a
Was
pool.
this like that episode of The Simpsons where Bart was an exchange student?
I
He had to stomp grapes?
I haven't seen that one.
Well, it was an early one. Early.
Weird.
Yeah.
I hear you tapping.
No, I'm sorry. I was just tapping on the base of the microphone for a moment, nervously.
Why would you do that?
I don't know, because I'm not a good broadcaster. Because I'm a hack. I have no idea what I'm up to. That's why. No, so we're all locked in. Now, though, we've never had to do a trip like this, like where you had to plot out how many days we're going to stay here and there, because usually we'd go like one place, and then you go on some excursions. But now it's like we got a whole country we have to excurge, and we're covering 3/4 of Ireland in this trip because we're taking 1 day trip up to Belfast and Giant's Causeway. So we're hitting Northern Ireland on the second day. Then we go to Dublin. We get in at 5 a.m. I should be drunk before breakfast if everything holds on. Then we'll try to stay up all day to fight the jet lag. We're going to see the Book of Kells on that first day and wander around, do some other things. I told Debbie I didn't want to do Guinness on that first day because I don't want to be tired when I go to the Guinness brewery. I want to be awake. So we have one more day in Dublin at the end. But then we're taking this bus trip up to Northern Ireland, and my brother was like, "What are you? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Why would you do that the day after you arrive? You'll be all jet lagged." I'm like, "'Cause I can ride a bus and fall asleep and then wake up when I get to Belfast and do all my stuff. And then someone will drive me back to the hotel. Then I can get up on the third day and be fresh as a daisy to start driving." Then we're driving south. I have to go. So I found out one of my relatives was in prison during the Civil War in Ireland at a prison down on off the southern coast of Ireland, off Cove. It's the I want to say Silver Ring Prison or the Spring Ring Prison or the Outback Steakhouse Prison. Forget what it's called. But
whose Civil War? The Irish Civil War?
The Irish Civil War. During the Troubles, Cody. Spike Island Prison.
Wow.
So we're going there. We're taking a nighttime tour of Spike Island Prison. We're gonna then we're staying in the family womb for like 3 days. We're gonna be in Charleville, where the Noonans are all from, and then we'll get to see my grandmother on my mom's side. Her house is right there in Abbey Field, just a little ways away. And supposedly, my cousins know the owner of this house, so I'll be able to go into my grandmother's childhood home where she used to hide under the beds when the Black and Tans were coming. There's a lot of crazy history in my family. There's a lot of stuff going on. But then we're going to Cliffs of Moher, and we're going to stay in a couple B&Bs, not Airbnbs, legit bed and breakfasts. I might have bread there. I'm not. That was the one thing I was like, do I want to stay at a bed and breakfast? But in some of these towns, that's all there is.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll stay there. And then we do Galway for a day, and we shoot back across the island to Dublin for our last day. And boom, there we go. We're back.
And I guarantee you, no matter where you are in Ireland, except maybe Northern Ireland, but no matter where you are in Ireland, East Coast, West Coast, South Coast, doesn't matter. Every single day, you will have an identical traditional Irish breakfast. I guarantee it, whether you're at a bed and breakfast, an Airbnb, a hotel, a hostel hotel, a hostel Airbnb. It doesn't matter. Every day for 8 days, identical traditional Irish breakfast.
That's the sausages, the tomatoes.
Yep.
The eggs. I hope they'll scramble them. I hate fried eggs.
Ooh.
I know. I'll eat them to be polite, but I won't enjoy that. And the beans. That was kind of the thing when we were in London too. It's the same kind of breakfast, you know, the beans and the eggs. And after a couple days, you're like, all I really want is a cup of coffee and maybe a bagel. I just, you know, but we're part of this Facebook group of people who are going to Ireland and they're asking questions, and people are insane. There was a post today. What do you wish you had brought with you to Ireland? People are putting washcloths, ketchup, top sheets. It's like, what? Bring creamer, because over there they drink their coffee black. And I'm like, but they put cream in tea, so they must, there's gotta be creamer, you idiots. People. Hang on. Gidget is whining at the door.
Wow.
And she's being very disrespectful. Hang on, Gidget.
All right. Do your thing. I'll talk. Yeah. For background, I went to Ireland in 2007, actually, around the time I graduated college. And incidentally, I just met this young woman who was we met like over the summer, and then it turned out she was gonna study abroad in Italy fall semester, and she was like, well, before I go to Italy, I'm actually gonna go to Ireland, spend a week in Ireland traveling around Ireland, then I'll go to Italy. And I was like, well, that sounds fun. You gonna travel by yourself? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, well, what if I came? And then she was like, okay. So I literally, like, that's what I did. I kind of hijacked her trip. So we ended up going over together. And she didn't really have a plan. She was probably just gonna bum around Dublin. But I like made an itinerary, like you're doing, like whole travel plan, some like castles. I made this whole thing. I was like super. I still have it somewhere. And we spent 7 days kind of traveling around the country. It was super fun. And then got to the airport. She hops over to Italy. I came back and had to explain to my mom why I just spent thousands of dollars traveling to Ireland with some woman that I didn't know very well. And I didn't really care. I mean, like, what explanation does a 22-year-old or 21-year-old need for that? Why did you go spend a bunch of time in another country with like a hot young lady? Well, there's not that many options for answers. Right. I'm intelligent. I don't know. Because I'm smart. Because I'm
not, because I'm a heterosexual man.
Yeah, it's a great.
That's
trip.
Why.
That's fun. But
so so that's the deal. Gidget's very unhappy.
It's freaking out.
She's just not because Walter's here and it throws her off. Gidget is the ultimate creature of habit. She is old and she's cranky, and you'll hear her. She's got a lot to say. Sometimes she sounds like Mary Tyler Moore on the Dick Van Dyke Show. Oh, Rob. Oh. And that's how I'm greeted every morning. She'll go down and she'll sleep in the basement, and she hears me come downstairs.
Wow.
I bet Walter bothered her.
So is Gidget like whining at you or at the door?
She just talks. She just has a lot to say. She's like the opposite of Mr. Ed. She talks even if she has not. Yes, I hear you. I see you. You're valid. I acknowledge you. That's all she needed. That's all she needed. She just needed me to acknowledge her. Now she's calm. Now she's okay. Yeah, I know you're okay.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, but I'm really looking forward to getting to New Orleans next week and hanging out. So can I show Gidget? Let me see if I can show Gidget. There she is, kind of. There she. Oh, Gidgy. People want to see her. There you go. There. Yeah. What are you yelling about? Well, I know you don't want to be on camera, but sometimes you gotta be. Oh, it's okay, buddy. It's okay. Yeah. So there's Gidget.
What was I about to ask you?
Jesus.
How do I figure out?
I always tell Debbie, don't worry if the dogs make noise. It's just a pie. It's okay. Because she'll like have the TV down to almost nothing. And I walk downstairs. I'm like, you can listen to the TV. I have the door closed. We're fine. No, I don't want anybody to bother you. And I go, you don't have to worry about the dog. It's okay. But who knew Gidget was going to come up with her manifesto that she needed to share with us?
How do I know what size light bulb this is?
It should be, if you look on the base of the bulb, right near where the glass, it's going to be on the metal. Look on there. It should be printed in how many watts it is and how many volts.
Nothing is printed on this.
That can't be right. Spin it all the way around. You don't see anything on there?
I don't see anything on there.
What did you get it out of? What did it come out of?
A tiny desk lamp that I got at Goodwill. Oh,
Okay.
wait, it says on the top.
Yeah.
Well, it says 180 lumens, C32 out of 19. Is that the size?
No. Oh, so Marta says, look on the glass. It should be on the glass, but it doesn't say how many watts, how many wattage it's pumping into your cottage.
This just says 25 watts, 120
25
volts,
watts. That's what you need. 25 watts.
180 lumens China. But I want to know what size this is. This is not a standard bulb size.
The base looks standard.
Is it?
No, what you do is you go into one of your superstores, your Menards, your Lowe's, your Home Depot, and you go into the light bulb section. It'll be like where the specialty bulbs are. It won't be, there'll be all the big, the big bulbs, and then there'll be a little narrow thing that has specialty bulbs. And there you go. And then you just go, oh, here's a specialty bulb.
Yeah. Brand name, not a name, but it's kind of a W, Westinghouse, maybe.
Westinghouse. It's a Westinghouse bulb.
It's a Westinghouse. All right, cool.
Yeah. You'll be able to find it. That'll be easy. You just go in and you look under where the bulbs are not they have all kinds of bulbs.
Cool.
A million bulbs.
Thanks.
They got all kind of craziness,
Yeah, the shapes. Yeah, it's like, so I got this desk lamp at Goodwill because the guest room is just dark, and it's like a real desk lamp. It's not like a regular lamp you just repurpose as a desk lamp, which is what I've been using.
Okay.
So, but anyway, the bulb is super tiny. It's not bright at all. It's actually pretty atrociously.
Maybe you can go up to a 40 watt.
I would definitely go up in wattage, but I would just make sure that. But yeah, it does look like a standard appliance bulb.
My friend Susan jumping in, looks like a standard appliance bulb. She says, could be that could. You should look on the lamp, because sometimes on the underside of the desk lamp, printed on the inside, it tells you what size bulb to put in there.
No way, really? No way. I'm being told to look extra close at this metal. I'm telling you, I got pretty good eyes, and I'm well lit. I'm not, and I don't mean drunk. I mean, I don't see anything.
No, but you saw the watts on top of the bulb. It's a 25 watt bulb.
Yeah,
so you take a picture of it with your phone, go to the store, pull that up, and when you're looking in the bulbs, you figure it out. And also just say, look on that lamp, and the lamp might tell you, use a 60 watt or a 40 watt or a 700 watt, 258 watt. I don't know how many watts there is.
258 watts.
That's a lot of watts. It might be too many watts.
That's a lot of watts.
It's a lot of watts. Oh, now you're getting canceled for that too, Fozzie Bear. Wow, that was a great tie into Fozzie the concert you're going to see. You kind of did a Fozzie Bear. Wow. I like how you did that.
Do you have an itinerary for New Orleans as well, or just got a hotel on yours?
No, New Orleans. Oh, I'm going to tell this story. Debbie will be mad. So Debbie is very, very intelligent.
Is this the hotel thing?
The hotel thing? No, this is new. This is brand new.
Oh,
this just happened the other day. So I had been finding unbelievable deals on the hotel. I got us our first hotel. Then I went in and I found the same hotel for a better deal, and we canceled because I always get free cancellation rooms when I'm booking, because I don't want to, So then I find a 4-star hotel on Travelzoo that is going for $95 a night. And I'm like, holy moly. And I send it, because I'm at school. So I send this to Debbie. I go, this is crazy. She goes, I'm going to book it. So she books it. Sunday, while we're doing all this stuff for Ireland, I go downstairs and I hear her on the phone in a panic. She gets on. I go, what happened? I don't know. We got the wrong dates on the hotel in New Orleans. What? I said, you booked that one, didn't you? Yes, but I'm straightening it out. I'm on the phone with Travel Zoo right now. First, I called the hotel. They told me I had to call Travel Zoo, but the hotel said everything was fine, that they had rooms and it was okay. But I had to call Travel Zoo, so I'm trying to call Travel Zoo, and I don't want to hear about it. I'm like, okay. And I'm trying not to. I'm like, wait a minute. Did you screw up? Yes. I go, wait, you screwed up? I did. Now stop it. And I'm remembering that old thing, at a lot of weddings when they read that scripture verse, love is patient, love is kind, love does not blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, does love mock somebody for screwing up the hotel reservation? And I'm like, probably not. So I did it in a very passive way. She said everything turned out fine. And I'm like, man, that's good news, because it seems like somebody might have messed up the hotel. I don't know what happened. She's like, shut up. I was like, okay, but yes. So we do not, we do have a hotel. I said, well, you know what? If they had the wrong days, I'd have driven down. I was going by myself. Even though I found out today, I was driving around in a Deathmobile.
What happened?
Well, I'd gone to the dealership about a month or so ago, and they said, well, you need some stuff done on the front end. They didn't make it sound very serious. So I'm like, okay, I'll let it go. But then in the last week or so, I've been hearing this horrible sound from my passenger side front, like a thump and a pop. And I'm like, huh. So I said, I got to make an appointment, take it to the shop. So I drop it off yesterday. And I dropped it off right after school. Debbie met me, drop it off after school. By the time I get home, the mechanic calls me, goes, did you say somebody looked at this? I said, yeah, the dealership told me that I might need some work done on the front end. He goes, I could pull your wheel off without any tools. He goes, you're lucky this thing didn't just fly off in traffic. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, you need a ball joint and a sway bar and a stabilization bar. He goes, this whole thing, I'm surprised it's still on your car. Like, whoa. Like, okay.
Okay.
Can you handle that? He goes, oh, yeah, I'll have it ready for you tomorrow. Okay. So, yeah, who knew? I've been taunting death for the last who knows how long. He goes, yeah, I can't believe today I pick it up. He goes, I can't believe they didn't tell you to get this thing fixed right away. This has been going on for a long time. I'm like, oh, boy. Okay.
Wow. Well,
yeah.
hey,
I cheated death again, Cody.
Hey, look, you right. You got a spouse makes a small mistake on the hotel thing.
It was a crucial error.
Crucial error. Okay. You almost get killed by the car. I got the government stuck me another one on top of the parking ticket. Got a letter. Apparently one of my W-2s was missing from my 2020 tax filings. And the government wants $5,000.
You tell them I can't give you that. I have to pay the city $5,000.
$800 is a late fee. So I emailed I have a tax preparer in Rockford. Really great little small
not
business.
great enough to include all your W-2s.
Well, so this is a former employer that of my spouse's that I do not have any confidence in their organizational skills. So I'm very confident they didn't send us one. And yes, it's still our responsibility, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. But like, that's a no, right? Like,
yeah,
W-2 comes in the mail. I put it in the W-2 pile. All right. Late February, well, usually like April 10th rolls around. I take the pile, I stick it all. I use the tax organizer, get it all filed. All right, let's go, And it's just, and like, she hadn't been in the job for a year at that point because she quit in February or March, right? So it's a year old, right? You don't think of these things. Like, who can, especially with the pandemic, like, come on.
Yeah. Who thinks about paying taxes?
Anyway, I emailed them right away. And then they were like, well, if you can send us, we can like file an amended, like something, I don't know. I may not have to pay as much or I will, but yeah. So I got that. I got the parking ticket. I've got my Cobra like did a weird thing. So like because I ended my last job January 31st,
Right.
and my new insurance doesn't kick in until April. But
Ooh.
I had this sweet gig with part of my package from when I left is like I just continued coverage through the end of this month.
Oh, nice.
So I actually
Okay.
got fully insured for the whole year, which is great. Unfortunately, the systems don't reflect that. And the Cobra administrator, because I had to go through a Cobra administrator, even though I'm not
Okay.
I'm not paying all the premiums. It's weird. It doesn't matter. The long story short is I'm fully insured, but no, it's not showing anywhere. So I've been having to pay full price for all of everything for the last month. So
No.
like 2 weeks ago, like, oh, here's a month supply of insulin. That'll be $600. My wife paid $500 the other day. I went to get needles the other day. That was $200. So I'm just setting fire to money. It'll get reimbursed.
That's
It's
nice.
fine. But yeah, my month has been just extraordinary in terms of expenditures. And I look at it and I was like, man, it's a good thing I got money.
It's a good
'Cause
thing you're working. Yeah.
there's a lot of people and it sucks. Like I bring it up not to be like, woe is me, because I can handle it. I can credit card this off.
Yeah,
And
we get
wait.
the flex that you got money. We're all catching what you're
Yeah,
laying down.
well, not anymore. I don't. But man, yeah, it's I just look at it and at the end of the day, it's like, oh, it's stupid, but whatever. But yeah, then I think about people that like can't, and I'm just like, oh,
I know. It's amazing, isn't it? If you don't
ugh.
have money, you could be in serious health trouble.
Yeah, I mean, with the ticket, 150, that's right, $150 to get it towed,
Right.
right? Or to get it out of the tow yard. That's assuming you didn't have to Uber to the tow yard, right? I
Right.
just walked. And then they get a $250 ticket on top of that. Or if they're feeding a family, they're in the city, they're living paycheck to paycheck. It's tough.
It
It's a
is
tough
rough.
society. Who decided to build a society that's so tough? Like, can't we lighten up a little bit?
I don't know. We got to
Like we can make
because we
life a
come
little
from no, we can't.
easier. Just a
No,
little.
no.
I'm just asking for like just a
We
small.
are from the people that tamed the West, that built industry. Life was tough.
Hmm.
So we have to maintain that toughness. And you know what happened? If you had health issues back in the day, you died. So count your blessings that you are still here. Count your blessings.
More like count your bootstraps. Am I right?
Yeah, you got 4 of them. Pull yourself up by them. Quit whining. Mike says you're going to have to sell the Beamer, your BMW, all your fancy. Yeah, maybe just go into the garage, get rid of some of your auto collection.
Valid.
Oh, wait, no, that was autoerotic asphyxiation. Never mind. Look at you pretending you're offended. Oh, hey, I talked to your old broadcast partner today. Or not broadcast partner, podcast partner, discovery partner. Yeah.
What? Why?
That's right. Because I'm moving to Asheville. No, she asked me, she's got a new job as well. And she asked me if she could interview me for a newsletter about how to read scripts and read copy so it doesn't sound like you're reading. And I was like, okay, sure, I could do that, I guess. So we did a little Zoom call today, and she asked me some questions, and I spouted all my wisdom. I dropped some knowledge on her that I'm sure she's going to share with somebody. She did not say to say hello to you. She didn't even know you were doing this. She said, well, how do you want me to, describe you? And then she brought up the old station. I go, well, I'm not there anymore, but I'm at WTMJ, and and I'm the co-host of the Realities May Vary podcast with your old partner. When did that just start? I go, no, we've been doing it about 2 years. I didn't even know. I knew he had some side projects, and I go, yeah, I'm his side piece. So that was that. But glad to see you were very proud of this at your old place.
I've literally that's not that. She's funny. You know what? I would one of my 1 minute breaks.
You are stammering like crazy.
In one of my 3 1-minute breaks I had today, I was actually gonna try and in incognito find her baby registry if she's got one because she's expecting. Now I don't know. Now I don't know.
I don't know. Well,
She
she
must not be a very good
said she's
listener.
closing on a house. Susan says reading like it doesn't sound like you're reading. You mean like acting? Yeah, I gave a whole symposium. I was inside the actor's studio, but I framed it in a broadcast way. And then I wanted to punch myself in the face at one point, and I even said that. I go, feel free to punch me in the face because I sound so pompous. I think I used the term "in the moment," and I wanted to strangle myself.
What was this for a newsletter?
A newsletter, she says, for her new job.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
runs it.
Yeah, so I'll be featured, I'm sure, prominently. I don't think there'll be a cover photo. Do they have cover photos on newsletters?
I don't know what that is.
That's just on the mimeograph machine, right? Somebody's in there cranking, and then everybody smells it. Ooh.
It's in a
That's how they
mimeograph machine right next to the old Edsel.
Right. By the sure. Well, you drive to the Etzel to get the mimeograph machine.
Yeah.
Then you bring it home and you make some coffee in the percolator, and you have a hamburger sandwich. That's what you do.
Is a hot dog sandwich? Call in.
Yeah, we haven't done a list topic in a long time.
We're not doing that.
We got to get some list topics. We got to go back to our old radio days. I'm not doing list topics.
Oh,
God. Even in the middle of the night, we didn't really do list topics.
Lopics?
Lopics. Yeah, we didn't do it. Leopics. Lispics.
I don't remember that either. I'm trying to think if
we might have done some.
No, I was trying to think if I've done anything interesting in the last week.
What have you done?
I ate funfetti.
Did you do anything for St. Patrick's Day?
I wore a green polo shirt for my
That's
Zoom
nice.
calls. Yeah.
There you go. That'll work. I wore all green to school, and the kids, one kid said I looked like a giant booger.
Oh, how did you respond to that?
I told him to, why don't you just go pick my, No, he's the same kid that I told you. He was the one that was vaping in class.
Oh,
So this kid this kid's a treasure. Kid is a treasure. I look into his future, and all I see is handcuffs.
Him vaping in class.
Yeah, he's the same kid who vapes in class. Tells me I look like a giant booger. And today I have this nice Tommy Bahama corduroy long sleeve shirt on. And I walk by and he snidely says, "Are you going to the Bahamas today?" And he was wearing all black. And I go, "Why? Are you going to a funeral today?" Oh, and he was like, "Oh, Mr. Noonan. You don't, you know, you don't know who you're messing with, kid. You have no idea. Absolutely no idea."
Yeah,
but he does because he knows I can't do anything to him. I'm going to get in trouble. I need this spring break because I'm going to say something horrendous. And I will make these kids cry. I will go against everything that everybody tells them, how special they are and how they can do everything and blah, blah, blah. And I'll lay it out. You're not special and you can't do anything. I spotted you D&O and you couldn't spell dog. So, don't come at me. I actually used the term. I actually told somebody yesterday, I go, I went to 5th grade. I graduated college. I know how to do this. I'm happy to help you learn to do it, but you got to meet me halfway.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't play anymore, Cody. I got, I'm a combination of Morgan Freeman as Principal Joe Clark and Michelle Pfeiffer in Dangerous Minds.
Wow.
And Robin Williams in whatever that Oh Captain, My Captain movie.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes. I'm Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire mixed with Michelle Pfeiffer and Morgan Freeman. And I can read like I'm not reading.
That's was that Walter barking in the background?
That's Walter. Yeah, that's Walter barking. This we have a menagerie. We have officially become the Bumpuses.
The Bumpuses.
The Bumpus hounds are now running this house. There are, when you realize that you're outnumbered by the dogs, that's a bad day. And it happens today. And Lawson is pretty chill, except this afternoon, Lawson decided to lose his mind. When Debbie was walking in, he saw her out the window. And when Lawson barks, it shakes the windows. He's very, you know him, he's very chill. You wouldn't think he'd ever bark. when he does, and he never just barks once. He hears himself and he's like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then he goes on a tangent and he'll just bark. And then he runs back and forth, jumping on the two couches, and he's 85 pounds. So he's out of his mind. And then Walter starts in, and, then the Gidget starts whining because they're making so much noise. And I'm like, I got to go back to school and be called a giant booger. That'd be a much better day than sitting here.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought
so Walter's here because Molly's out of town. And then Walter's going to be here next week while we're in New Orleans because he's taking care of the dogs.
I thought I had my hands full. It was a lot.
Well, you have a baby.
I do. Yeah, I've been getting to intimately know the corner, the street intersection up at the corner. Because
Why?
he has this.
Are you a crossing guard?
I might as well be. He's got these. He's got these push toys. He just like push like a little lawnmower kind of thing, little toy, and he'll push it down the block and push it up the block. Anyway, so I go outside with him. He just pushes. He takes a left. All right, cool. Pushes to the intersection. All right, cross the street. Cool. Hard right, cross the street. Cool. Hard right, cross the street. We walked around the four corners of the intersection for 24 minutes.
Just the intersection?
Just him walking in circles. Just sidewalk, get to the sidewalk, cross the street, get to the corner, turn, hard right, zip, hard right, zip. I think he might become a NASCAR driver when he's older.
Because he only turns left?
Well, he was only turning right, which is concerning.
Right.
He won't. Maybe he'll be a good NASCAR. Maybe he can race in Ireland. I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah. So that's been my life. And so my spouse was just like, I'm just gonna get bored. Like you're very patient, and I'm just like, I'm so brain dead at the end of my day. Like I have nothing left to offer. And frankly,
I was going to say you wouldn't mind just walking in circles for a while.
That's why I do it. And he'll occasionally stop and point and be like, "Oh, bus," and I'm like, "Yes, it's a car, so it's a bus."
Of course, it's a bus.
Then we'll keep going a few times, and then he'll stop and say, "Oh, bus," and he's looking around like it's not just focused on the ground. I make him look both ways. He kind of barrels into the street, but
I was going to say that's you got to tell him you can't just run out in the street. Oh, bus will run him right over.
I mean, I want to teach him to hold my hand when he crosses the street, but he's both hands with a death grip on this thing he's pushing. So I can't, you can't logistically do it. So I'll put my hand on his back or his head, or I always walk next to him.
Yeah.
It's whatever. He'll learn when he can talk. That'll come.
Well, he'll learn the first time a car swerves out of the way and a guy gets out and starts calling him all kinds of names. Or the first time he gets clipped and flies through the air. That'll learn him.
And he just won't care because he's gigantic and he won't even care.
No, he's going to get hit like the Hulk and just stand there.
Yeah.
Just look at this car and shake his head, then shrug and keep moving. Oh, boss?
Now, wait, when is your Ireland trip? It's September, October?
September.
All right, cool. All right. So, all right. We got plenty of time.
We got plenty of time. Yeah. Oh, well, it's pretty much once we finish booking the rental car, we got one more night to book. Our last night, we have to book a hotel for that night, but we're done. We got our tour stuff. We're going to, getting some ideas from people, trying to get ideas from Molly because she was there twice. You'd think she'd be help. None, really.
There is a website. Is it Kayak or what was the Travel Zoo?
Travel Zoo is one that I use. But
Travel Zoo, there's one of the sites, and maybe you'll remember this. One of the sites always offers these crazy deals. And they're always like 6 months. It's always like 6 months out or a year or something. And they set a super low price, but they basically tell you what dates you can fly.
Right.
And there's always these crazy, they'll have like round trip to Europe for like 500 or whatever. And it's just
right.
Really, really good, but I can't remember which one. I don't remember if it was Kayak or Travel Zoo or something. Maybe it's Travel Zoo. I'll try that.
Travel Zoo is really good. That's why I ended up getting the hotel through at the Great Deal, and we've used them for a couple other trips where it's like, holy cow, this is unbelievable.
Because we're thinking,
I think that's where my brother. Yeah, it is. That's where my brother booked his safari when he went to Africa. Booked it through Travel Zoo.
Okay.
Yeah. So you want to go on a safari?
No, never. Literally ever. I don't want to go there. That doesn't sound fun.
Well, they didn't go hunting. They just went to experience nature and look. They looked at things. They didn't. They didn't kill anything.
Things you look at can kill you. That's what I'm worried
Oh yeah.
about.
Oh, definitely. He could have. Yes. There was one place they stayed where they had to be escorted at night back to their rooms.
You know. No, but I was thinking, our kid turns 2 at the end of the year, so it's like maybe we should book some crazy expensive trip and just bring him with while he sits in our lap for free.
I was going to say, my cousin just said the same thing. He's like, I got it, because I was asking him about things for Ireland. He's like, well, we're supposed to be in. His wife is from Poland. He's like, we're supposed to be in Poland at that same time, but the town she's from is right by the Ukraine border. So if things get sketchy, we might end up in Ireland when you're there. We got to fly before the end of September, before their son turns 2. So
now, granted,
he's gonna be big to be sitting on your lap for 8 or 10 hours.
I know, and it's like, do I want to take him on a 10-hour flight? I don't know about that. I mean, another option is just like taking him to like Mexico City or something for a few days with us.
Take him to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico rules.
He doesn't love beaches.
Okay. Take him to the rainforest. Let him swing with the monkeys. Oh, that's right. He hates the sand.
Yeah.
Well,
right. For now, maybe he'll grow. I'm not really sure. It doesn't matter. I'm just not thinking, because you're talking about Ireland, and like we randomly threw out Scotland earlier, and part of me just wants to kind of like just like go on travels and just be like, tickets to Scotland like in August just to see.
Yeah, just get in touch with your heritage. He's going to outgrow the little kilt he's got already. You're going to need a new kid kilt.
Sad. He's going to do bagpipe lessons, though.
Of course he is. How would he not?
I'm decided I'm definitely going to make sure that he learns those. Maybe I'll take lessons with him. Who knows? I haven't exercised my musical muscles in a while. I know like 2 things that you can do on it, like from when I kind of started for like 2 months and then stopped because I played saxophone.
You get the bagpipes back going. I'll get the bowron back going. Then we'll take the show on the road. We'll let the kid front the band like Michael Jackson. Little baby bagpiper moonwalking. Oh, bus. Oh, bus. Oh, bus. Woof, woof. Bus. That'll be a song. Oh, Walter loved it. Walter heard woof, woof, and he went, what?
That was a weirdly accurate. Like that was uncanny valley right there.
Now, listen, it's going to be funny when he's doing it when he's 15, but right now it's cute as hell.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to Mason Reese it and not, maybe not stay as cute for, when you're 22 and you're singing woof, 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 oh, bus, woof, 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 oh, bus.
Dude, he can Mason Dixon it for all I care.
Wow. Okay. Take it right to the line.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I got nothing else. I
had very little. I brought very little.
That's
to the
not
show,
true.
But I think we explored things to the greatest extent that we could have under the law.
You are one fatigued man who now has to go back to work because your work-life balance is for naught. Mm-hmm. You are trying to make a good impression on your new employees and trying to be the man that they admire and hate at the same time. Now, are you a guy who will the last question, Cody, and thank you for joining us tonight. Are you a guy who will send out business emails now at 9:40?
No.
Good.
I will schedule them for so if it's going to somebody that needs to see it first thing or wanted it like today, I want them to receive it basically before they wake up and check their phone.
Okay.
But I don't do the whole like, oh, I send the emails at 11. Like I'll do it internally so my people know that I'm working that late because I am.
Okay.
But externally, no, I'll schedule it for like 5:15 in the morning because then like, because then like, if, even if they're East Coast, they'll probably get up pretty early. Right. And they can at least rationalize like, oh, well, he's just an early person. Right. Five is like pretty crazy early, but like there are people that get up at 5. So that's like it's realistic. Right. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to like 4:15 in the morning because then they're just like, who's this guy? Right. It's got to be like 5, maybe 5:45. Depends on what time zone they're in. If they're in New York, I got to err on the early side because New York's an hour ahead. If they're in California, screw it. I'll send it at like 6:30. Then that's like totally whatever, So
All right, that's good because the reason I ask is last night Debbie's boss called her. No, wait, no, this was Sunday night. Her boss called her at like 9:00.
on a Sunday?
Yeah,
About what?
I don't know. Debbie didn't answer.
She didn't find out Monday?
It was nothing earth shattering, nothing that needed a 9:00 call on a Sunday night.
I told my employees, since we're fully remote, it's
Yeah.
the kind of place where it's like, okay, try Slack or email first, or then try this, and then texting if needed, and then phone call if emergency. I told direct reports, I'm like, I am never going to call you if at all humanly possible.
Yeah,
And
you hate talking on the phone.
I'm probably not going to text you. I actually like the fact. Actually, I had a call scheduled at 1:00 today, and I checked the calendar invite because I was about to click the Zoom link.
Sure.
And it said, "How about we skip Zoom for once? Call me. Here's my number." So I just called him, and I walked around. I paced around on my balcony outside while I talked to him. It was
Nice.
great. Liberating, freeing. I like that.
Now you gotta get one of those headsets so you can just walk around and you can wave your hands frantically.
Ooh, so I could be a douche canoe.
Yeah, douche it up. Then your neighbors will go, look at that guy doing business in his underpants on his balcony.
Douche it up. Can that be the name of this episode?
Yes, I will. All right. Douche it up.
Spell it weird so it looks like it's like a long German word, so it doesn't look as immediately.
D like 5 O's. All right, we'll figure that out. Your son named the last one, last week's episode.
What was last week's episode?
What did I call it? I can't remember. It was like bus car bow wow or woof woof, bus car woof woof or something.
That's right.
So that was that. Well, listen, we're not going to be here next week. You can be here next week. I'm not going to be here next week. I could call in, but I'll be
don't.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
You'll be having fun. Yeah.
I'm gonna be feeding my soul. I need my soul refreshed.
Yeah, and I'll probably still be working.
You'll still be working, so you'll be too tired to take a call anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll be back. Oh, after this is the next week, we will have both had our birthdays.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun. We can recount our birthdays or not. Recount whatever.
Lots of
enjoy the opera. I want to hear all about that. Enjoy Fozzie. I want to hear all about that. Good luck with the city. You are going to be good. You've got the city government and the federal government on your tail. You just need the state police to chase you, and then you'll have the trifecta of law enforcement on your backside. I almost said ass.
Yeah, inappropriate. That's great. Yeah, I can't wait to hear about New Orleans and your adventures and misadventures in that city.
There will be misadventures. All right. Well, thank you for listening. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to tell your friends, like, follow, all of that. Did you see somebody, and I forget who, took a picture of a car that had a license plate that said bye and asked if Cody got a new car. So we always, because now that's the catchphrase. That's the way you end it all.
If you combine the amount of money I owe for parking tickets, prescription drugs, and taxes, then I could buy a nice new car, actually.
With vanity plates.
With vanity plates.
Yes.
However, in lieu of that, I will just have to say bye.